bring up the whole situation with Keke Palmer. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with the Keke situation, how her boyfriend or baby daddy went to social media to talk about her dancing with Usher and her booty cheeks was out. And he made a comment on social media about her being a mom and basically saying like you shouldn't be dressed like that. But I feel like I think it was more so of Usher grinding on her and touching on her that he had an issue with. And I feel like he probably should not have went to social media with it. But I do give him grace that he is human, and sometimes we do be in our feelings. And, you know, a lot of times you hear, like, women being in their feelings, but sometimes men be in their bag. Like, they be in their bag of feelings for real. So he just happened to be dating a famous person that was in his feelings.
Mm-hmm. I think that so I'm the type of guy, right, that if I got something to say to my woman, I'm going to say it to her face-to-face in the privacy of our home, unless we're trying to get that bag because we're famous.
Right.
Now, if you're famous, then, and I plan to be there one day, right, I expect that me and my significant other will have an understanding that anything we do public is intentional. Anything that we share with the world is intentional. So if we're going to be intentional about what we do, we got to be an understanding of, hey, when you go to Usher tonight and he puts all of his body parts on you, I'm going to do this. And then this is probably what the reaction we're going to get, and be prepared for it. That's the way that I would handle my household.
Right.
But if let's say that they weren't that clever, if he really truly went out there while she was in Vegas and caught all up in his feelings, then I say that he's wrong. I say that you don't put you all's business out in public, and that stuff should stay at home.
But do you give him grace?
No, he gets no grace.
Okay, so your friends and family can go to social media and make subliminal posts about their significant other, but he couldn't because he's dating somebody famous?
They don't get grace either.
Yeah, nobody.
No, if you are putting you all's business out there and you all up in your feelings in that moment, then you get no grace from me. You have to, in that situation, think about the potential outcomes of, number one, everybody going through your 15 years of MySpace, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter, and then bringing you to the carpet on any and everything that you've done. You've got to be prepared for that if you decide to do something like that. So if you are so in your feelings, dating Keke Palmer, having a kid with her, and you decide to do that, then you deserve every drag that you receive. You get no grace from it.
Okay, so right. What does the audience have to say?
Yes, what are your thoughts?
I would say I agree.
Come on, tell us about it.
Because it just didn't make any sense. It's just like, okay, before that, like you said, you're going to get dragged. People are going to go through your social media and, you know, refer back to the time when you had posted her and she's twerking and she's in a bodysuit, booty jiggling, everything. You're like, yeah, look, basically like.
Oh, he did that?
Yes.
Yes,
okay, I didn't know that.
And they posted it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to go, if they're going to drag you, they're going to drag you with receipts.
Right.
That's what happened.
Right.
But also, it's Keke. You know, Keke Palmer she's a personality. She's bold. She's unapologetically her. And for me, it's just like, I have a big personality. Maybe I'm not going to have booty cheeks out or whatever, because that's just not how I dress. But I love Keke because I feel like she's just who she is. And if you're going to be with her, you need to know that. She's been that way the whole time.
Facts.
Since she was a little girl. Before I thought she was too much when she was a little girl. But I seen like who she, you know, she was made to be this person. And so it's just like, sir, if you're not confident enough to be with a woman like that, you need to just pump your brakes.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm waiting for her to say something, but she may not, you know.
And she hasn't yet.
But also, too, you know, when she was on the Terrell show, she had mentioned, she was just like, you know, my guy, he's the type of dude that is fine and doesn't know he's fine. To me, sometimes, you know, that could have been a red flag. It's just like, he's not confident, you know. So even though he looks good and people are like, why is he tripping, this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're not married, you know, insecurity, you know. People, when they're too insecure, everybody has insecurities, but when they're too insecure, it is definitely a red flag, and it can definitely turn into, you know, kind of like that mildly abusive, manipulating type of relationship. So,
which I think the reason why he was really mad wasn't the outfit or her dancing. It was about Usher, Mr. Take Your Woman. Yeah. That's what the real issue was about. Especially since he had no problem with her twerking. So then it becomes a matter of do you have emotional intelligence to be able to handle a woman that's a celebrity?
Right.
Did anybody else have something to add to that conversation?
Well, I feel like he didn't have a problem. Like, so y'all saw that video that he had posted where she was twerking in the dressing room. But I feel like he was okay with that because it was like, to him, I feel like the message was, this is for me.
Yeah.
You know, and not everyone else. But it's so funny. My boyfriend and I have been talking about this, and I don't want to say nothing that's gonna get me in trouble. But get in trouble. But I mean, oh look, y'all about to. But
this is a safe place.
But yeah, I mean, I felt like I didn't like that he had something to say about like what she was wearing. You're a mom. Like you can't wear certain things because you're a mom. Right. And it's just, but then, you know.
He was right about that though. But please continue.
Well, wait, we got to talk about that. But then they also posted something with the receipts of him, you know, with his shirt off and drawers on. What? And it's like, you're allowed to post that, but I'm a mom, so I can't be I can't be sexually empowered. I can't be, and it's not like in a way of, you know, I mean, it would have been one thing if she had like literally just a thong on and she was trying to get that sort of attention, and maybe she would, I don't know, but I feel like she was dressed classy, sexy, and she was just having a good time. Yeah. You know?
Classy, sexy.
Classy, sexy.
I mean,
she was at an Usher concert.
Hold on. Sir, I'm going to ask you this, and thank you for the perspective. Your beautiful wife, is she allowed to dress classy, sexy at an Usher concert?
All right.
All right. Talk about it.
Usher, I ain't worried about it.
Ain't nobody worried about Usher.
Now you said Idris Elba, we gonna have a problem.
What's the difference?
And that's what
Tell us about the difference.
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Because you have a celebrity crush. Every person has a celebrity crush.
Okay.
You know, it's guys that say, hey, if I mess up with this person, you may just forgive me.
That's my free one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
he's preaching today.
Hers is like Idris Elba. So what she wear at Usher may be different what she wear at Idris Elba grand opening or something.
Right.
But she's my lady. And the only thing I had that kind of throw it all off was, if you're my lady and if I disapprove what you have on, we need to have a conversation before you walk your ass out that door.
That's true. Those are facts.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. In relates to knowing that Idris Elba is her crush, what if Usher is Keke's crush?
And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it is exactly what it is. That's why he got soft with it.
Yeah.
That's why he got all his emotions. If he was
he's like, this is a possibility.
Right. So if she would go see Jaheim or somebody,
Jaheim. Carrot Top. She wouldn't have worn that. Supposed to be Carrot Top in Vegas.
But you know, it might be a slim possibility for that one instant she ain't your woman. And that's what's going through his mind.
And he didn't wife her, so it just kind of like, ooh.
Right.
You just a baby mama.
Ooh, this been her crush when she was a kid. It can happen.
And see, that gives another view on the fact that this is your woman who had your child that you didn't marry or get engaged to, and so technically she is still
free
single.
game.
Yeah.
Single.
Not her. As they say,
No.
Okay, what you got to say about it?
Common law. No.
Common law.
And so we common law now.
That's a good year. I don't think they've been living together that long. So.
And listen, if you passed the baby, let me see, so 9 months plus a year, that's at least 2 years.
Right.
Where we together, we picked out curtains and everything.
Yeah.
We need to hold that down. Monica, you're gonna say something?
I was going to say, people don't talk about the fact that Usher has a woman. and 2 small daughters with her. And
But he's not married either.
He's not married either, but she's at the show. She sits in a private box. He's brought her on stage multiple times.
It's the kind of
So it's a show.
It's a show. Yeah.
And so it's a show for them. So there have to be a conversation on both sides. We're only focused on Keke and her guy, but also Usher has a very committed relationship with the woman that he shares 2 small daughters with that both are under the age of 3. So he's very much committed to the point where she travels with him and does everything together. So there really wasn't even a possibility of anything really happening other than the fact that Keke was on stage with Usher. And he got in his feelings because he was insecure about it. And as opposed to taking it to the bedroom behind closed doors, he took it to social media, which is where most people air their dirty laundry. It's social media. And when you are a celebrity, it comes with being scrutinized. You're going to come with that baggage that some of us, you know, with a couple hundred followers, you know, it's just gonna fall. It's gonna fall in our feed. It's gonna fall in deaf ears. Most people are not gonna see when we're venting or ranting about something. But when you have millions of eyes on you, it blows something to a magnitude that a lot of us can't relate to because we don't have millions of people looking at us. They do. So it changes the game, and I think he probably, in hindsight, look at it that, oh, I made a mistake. I probably shouldn't have put that out there.
Which is why he deleted it, but he didn't know that nothing that you put on social media is ever truly deleted. Because once they screenshot,
that's it.
That is it.
It's golden to it. And that's for Usher.
Wasn't ready for that.
You know, Usher known for confessions.
Yes, he is.
These are confessions.
Would anybody in the room, I know you're mainly women here, but if your man went to the TLC or Janet Jackson concert, Janet
Jackson like younger kids, so I don't know. Oh yeah, my baby daddy is a billionaire. My baby daddy is a billionaire.
Put me on the board. There you go. Put me on the board.
Janet Jackson's baby daddy is a billionaire.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll take it.
So I don't think you can. I don't care what she do to y'all, because I know she don't want y'all because y'all ain't.
First of all, you don't know it. Hold on. I kicked that billionaire out. Size 16 shoe. That's not me. Them billions don't mean nothing when Javon come in the room. All I'm saying is.
Okay, you better have some confidence about yourself.
I mean, Janet, it's going to be special for her. As well as me. We're mutual, me and Janet. You have to understand this. But I've been practicing for that board. What?
Come on to the front.
Yes, sir.
I was saying if she gives JD a chance, I can definitely hope I got.
Hey, that's a mic drop.
And that's a fact. What I was asking is for the women in here. So, your man, Janet Jackson, on the board. Everything is going well for the young man, and maybe he's showing his pleasure on the board. Would anybody here leave a message on your Twitter, your Snapchat?
No.
Not a single woman here.
No, absolutely not.
Are y'all doing this for TikTok?
Absolutely not. But I will say that, the lady from Moesha's best friend, her baby daddy, that she had 3 kids with. I think her name is Shar.
You a 90s person.
Shar, yeah.
Alicia.
Her baby daddy went out to the club one night, and guess who he met?
Janet.
No, Britney Spears.
Oh,
He met Britney Spears, and he never came back home.
Oh wow, you're talking about what's name?
Oh, this is a true story. Yeah, he never came back home.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And we agree that could happen with Janet and me.
That could happen.
Janet and I.
Listen, I'll be flattered. I'll be like, if Janet wanted him, I'll be like, well, you a bad boy. You better get her. You better do that. I'll find somebody else. I'll be all right.
That alimony be good then too. So wait, back here. Wait a minute. So, women. Oh, women. So your man is on the board. Janet Jackson. Full transparency on the board. That he's enjoying the show. Not a single woman in this room got nothing to say.
Nope.
Get your life
Have fun, right?
I'm taking video, pictures. I autograph after? Like, what?
Yeah. But I do want to say this.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the reason that most women don't care about that is most women have dealt with the man that goes to a strip club. Most women have dealt with the man that goes to bachelor parties and they got strippers and they know that the man are turning up with women dancing. And they're probably turned on by that. We don't trip off of you, of course, looking at Janet Jackson and being turned on. That's an expectation.
Oh, I'm glad you brought up that. So let me bring up the strip club. Can I take you somewhere? So strip club. Listen, he's not here right now. Okay, we're not talking about him. All eyes off of him right now. So let's say one of my really good friends is a stripper, and every Friday and or Saturday, I go to support her dance ministry.
Not my man. Not my man.
This is a good, but wait a minute though. This is a really good friend of mine though. Like this is like we grew up together, you know. I'm in a relationship. And this is my friend from college, you know.
And she giving you a lap dance?
Well, I'm going to support the ministry, so I'm going to take like $50, you know, because you got to give an offering. So I'm going to take $50 and sing. Take $50 every Friday and or Saturday to make sure.
And first of all, your priorities are straight.
Wait, I'm supporting my friend though. I'm supporting my friend though. Am I not allowed to support every Friday and or Saturday my friend?
No.
Not with my household.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
I wonder, have you ever dated a woman like that though, where she was cool with you going to the strip club? The men I date,
Oh, absolutely.
they don't. And my ex didn't.
Yeah. But the women aren't okay. So I know every woman here is comfortable with their man going to strip club. That's not that's understood. Is it the frequency that we're talking about?
Absolutely
The
no.
frequency. We're talking about the frequency. That's the problem.
I'm not comfortable with
None of it. None of
You're
it.
not comfortable
None
with
of
your
it.
man going to support his stripper friend.
No.
So
No.
wait.
No.
Wait a minute. I got a
Pass
problem.
it back to the audience.
I got a problem now. I got a problem.
No.
I got a problem. Here's my problem.
Javon's wrong.
No.
Thank you.
You missed the memo.
And louder wrong.
So wait, here's my question. Let me get my question out. I want to make sure I'm forming this properly so that everybody can understand what I'm asking. If Keke is an entertainer,
She's
and
not a stripper.
Usher's an entertainer, and Usher's entertainment is bumping and grinding on a woman once a night with this woman in the box seats. If Keke can go to that show to support her friend
They're
and
both
get bumped
celebrities.
and grinded on, why is it that your man cannot go and support his friend?
Every weekend?
I don't play
Okay,
that.
once a month.
No, it's a no for
Once a
me.
month.
And the thing is, like, we're all multifaceted. We all have a million things we're doing. Why we gotta go to the strip club?
Hey, 'cause I-
Because that's where my friend works.
No, she does other things, I'm sure.
Come on.
I mean, if she's doing painting as well, I'll go to her art gallery on Saturday. But on Fridays, from 7 p.m. until 2 a.m., I feel that I should be able to go and support my wife. Bro, I know you agree with me. That's why you put your head down. Don't get that. This is a safe space. You agree with me, right? You should be able to go see your stripper friend at least once a month.
This space is safe.
Okay, as another male in the room, how do you feel about what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
I see where you're coming from.
Yes, sir.
In the sense that we're all supporting someone.
We're all supporting our friend.
I think concerts is like a little bit different than a strip club, right? And I think like maybe a better analogy might be needed. I feel like
That's why you said, don't have them break up your happy home.
I see myself going to a strip club like in the frequency of a concert. Maybe yes, that would work that way, but I don't think that's what the women see it as.
But she's in concert every week.
She's in concert every week.
Yeah.
What's not a concert? It's a performance. She's in performance art every weekend.
She residential just like Usher.
Yeah, come on. Why am I not getting no amens? I know they be preaching today.
I'm so happy we doing a live recording. I'm so happy we doing a live recording.
Javon said, support the strippers. I'm here for it. I said it.
No, I mean there are women that are in relationships that are okay with that. But it's just like there are some women in here that is not okay with it. I've never had a problem with a man. I don't have a man where he's like, oh, I just need to go to the strip club and
to support my friend.
And come back with funky coochie on his nose and he's like, no.
He ain't gotta be on his nose, he just be on his chest. But the point is that all I'm saying is I see support the same way Keke supported Usher as me supporting Keke at the strip club. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let us know on a future episode how that works out for you.
I'm bringing in Keke to
as we transition to the Jonah Hill.
Well,
you want to talk about that?
Can we go into the DDG one? And my phone is over there. The one with the Haley Bailey that I sent you. I'll give the. Okay. And you got the lyrics, right?
See, we older though. We may not even. I didn't know who DDG was. Y'all know
who DDG is.
Yeah. Me neither. That's why I'm like, I want to talk about people that people may know.
Oh, they know Haley Bailey. Y'all know Haley, right? Little Mermaid, right?
Okay, her boyfriend.
I call her Haley. I'll call her Haley. Haley's made us my six times.
You have to pronounce her name correct.
Miss
Halle Bailey.
Miss Bailey.
Who was that?
Oh, Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid. The twins. Coley.
They're not twins.
They're not twins?
No.
I thought they were twins.
But they are.
See, I'm too old. Let me say my name. Go ahead,
You were born in the 70s. So let me give y'all the situation. Did you pull up the lyrics?
Oh my God.
So
let me see.
Yeah, pull up the lyrics. So this guy named DDG, he's an artist.
Okay.
And he's a rap artist. Just his new album just came out on Friday. He's dating Miss Bailey.
Oh, okay.
Now, Miss Bailey was in a movie called Little Mermaid, where she was on screen kissing and loving the male interest in the movie. Mm-hmm. And when they went out to promote the movie, you know, they would be on the red carpet and holding hands and traveling around the world promoting Little Mermaid. So he wrote a song about his insecurities. Oh, God. And the lyrics go like this.
I can't. He says, fall in love, I hate that ish, knocking me off my grind, I can't F with relationships, I ain't even got time in the day for me to chase a B. I don't even ask for much, I ask you to do the basic ish, hardest thing I did was fall in love with a famous B. Wow. Why are you even dating a man that even has lyrics like that?
It's a term of endearment. The point is,
you know you can't say that.
He's wrong. I think anybody, most people don't know, but I'm not a big supporter. I'm not a big supporter of the B word towards women. I absolutely hate and despise that. But this culture is a little bit different. So.
Wait, hold on. You know we got some people in the room that's in that age group. My daughter's in the back. They 27. Y'all okay with a man calling y'all a B? Don't call me on my name.
Some.
Right.
Now the strippers that I know.
If you play around, all that, no.
Right. I don't even play that.
So those are 2 of the 3 triplets. Now the strippers that I know don't mind being called a B. So I'm just saying, there's some people that really don't care. There's some people that don't.
You can change your surroundings.
Every one of you all are absolutely beautiful, and I appreciate you all coming today. The point is that there are some women, we should be able to agree on this in the room, that don't mind being called a B. Can we at least agree that there are some women?
I don't have. I guess sisters, we don't play that. I'm sorry. No.
I don't think any woman genuinely likes that. I think there might be moments like to your point though, I do think there are some women who are okay with that, but nobody loves, like nobody wants that. Do that. That term of like nobody. You know, they're not my man.
Is there anyone?
Not my man.
Okay, I mean, okay. I'm with you. This cannot be a point of contention.
It's true.
I'm right. I know it's true.
We can take it back to the 90s.
Yes.
All the rap songs we heard,
every last one.
And we hated it.
No, you didn't.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Who didn't back it up to Juvenile? Everybody in this room backed it up to Juvenile. He called y'all every word in the book. Yes.
I got you.
Yes, he did.
My favorite word.
What's my favorite word?
I didn't like Too Short.
Veronica. No, that is not how that lyric goes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Much as women say they didn't like being called out their name. Every time a song came on, now I'm talking about even when I was in partying in high school, college days, every time a song came on calling a woman be out or a garden tool, them women got on that floor and danced.
Garden tool.
They got on the skating rink. They got on the floor and skating to the songs out there grinding and grooving. So I was kind of off, to hear a woman be offended, being called that.
Oh, that's so
But you'll jump out and dance for and dance to it.
Yeah.
Shaking your ass.
The number one NPR right now is juveniles. And the women in the audience in this professional setting are literally right there calling themselves a bee and shaking and pumping and doing everything.
It says B, back it up. It's not the lyric.
No,
Does it say B, back it up? Or it say back that A up?
B is in that word. So B is in that word more than ass.
I don't know. I thought it was girl, you look good. Won't you back that thing?
Like, what is it? I'm sorry. What you back there? I mean, listen to Queen music? No. I listen to the Queen version. I'm not even going to lie. When I hear the explicit version, I be like, that's what they said.
Okay, off topic a little bit. I remember the first time I heard the explicit version of Throw Babies.
See?
It blew my mind.
I
didn't know that song.
I hate it.
Y'all not familiar, so I'm not gonna sing it. But I'll tell you this: Throw Babies. I had to sit down and pause.
Throw Baby.
Yeah. They make the songs catchy so you can kind of like go to it and you hate the lyrics, but you're singing it because it's catchy.
I had a friend break down because I was naive. I'm like, oh baby or whatever it was. I'm like, cool. They were like,
I thought it was Oh Baby.
No, it ain't. It is not. Yes. I digress. So there are some women that like to be called a bee. And we don't know if Miss Bailey is one of those that likes to be called a bee. Now, going back to the topic.
Anymore, and he said that they posted something recent where he said that song is not about her, but I mean he probably lying. Like,
of course.
But you don't know how old the song is though. You don't know how old the song is. Some of the artists don't drop their music right away. So you don't know how old the song is. And I'm pretty sure he dealt with other celebrities that's in the industry.
But on the juvenile song, not that he called them bees, he called them garden tools for that song.
Oh,
so
what is it? Can you tell me the garden tool? He said, "Ho, won't you bag it up?"
Was that the
bag that A up?
He was calling that through the lyrics when he's rapping.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even
but you only know
what the chorus say.
So someone on TikTok said it's all because of the beat of the music.
It's all because of the beat of the music.
Yep.
That's true.
Which is
wait, what is because of the beat?
While the females dance to the lyrics, it's the beat and not more so of the lyrics.
No, it's not the lyrics. Yeah.
So
And that goes with the
she said we was. She said we was not really listening to the lyrics back then. At least some of us.
Right. So, but
that's called selective hearing. So.
Right, which we all have selective hearing. But I guess my point and why we brought that situation up was it goes back to the insecurities. And I could not imagine, again, this is just Javon, writing a song about my then girlfriend while I'm still with her, telling the world how insecure I am about being with her. That is stuff like this that you get no grace.
Right.
There is no grace for
Hold
that.
on.
And then you more like Russell Wilson. Just stand by your woman. Be quiet. Talk to her. Close doors. Keep your happy marriage.
Well, Javon, let's be realistic though. Like everybody is human.
Right.
So in times when you have been in relationships or married where your heart got broken, or has your heart ever got broken?
Once, twice, maybe seven.
Okay, but at least once.
Sure.
Okay, so
I'm a Cancer. It happens.
if you were to, in that moment when your heart is broken, if you were to get on social media, could you say that you wouldn't say anything?
So I'm a little bit different. I don't believe in subliminal messages on social media. So I'm not going. That's why I don't even, when I'm dating somebody or whatever, you're not gonna know that we were together until our 1 year anniversary of our marriage. Like,
is that how it was when you were married though?
Because it wasn't like that when we were married. Now that I know, when you know, you do better. So you will find out about me and Keke Palmer 1 year at our 1 year anniversary when we celebrate our 1 year, or me and Janet, or me and Tatiana and Ali, or
Tatiana Ali
she's
is
still
married.
beautiful. It don't matter.
It does. It matters.
I don't think it's gonna work out. I'm on record. So no, I don't believe in subliminal messages though. So I can't even fathom writing a song and putting it out.
That's what they do though. Jay-Z did it. Beyonce wrote a whole album about Jay-Z. Like, that's what artists do though. This is within his craft. I can see if he wasn't a rapper and he wrote a song and put it. No, this is what they do. They rap and sing about their real life situations. Like, we have a singer in here. Do you write songs as well?
Yes.
Have you ever written songs about current situations or past situations that are real life stories?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you do as an artist.
Yeah.
That's what makes the song so real, and sometimes people can relate to it so bad because it's a real story. It's not something made up and fake that somebody just thought of. But that's what artists do.
Taylor Swift does it after relationships though. It's still post relationship. So if it's true.
Wait, DDG and Halle Bailey are not still dating though right now.
I thought they were.
They are.
No,
I thought they were.
I think it's.
They had issues going on, but they just not having.
I thought they.
Yeah, I think they're stepping back from social media. Right. So I think it was more so of them trying to paint the picture like, okay, you guys, we want less eyes on us, so let's,
Take a step back.
Yeah, let's take a step back on social media and like not tell the world, but tell the world, but so that everybody else could focus on something else other than their relationship, because their relationship was taking a toll because of the social media posts and assumptions and stuff like that. So I think they just taking a step back and just getting their relationship off of social media. That's just like Amon and Regina, what's her name? Regine. They pretended like they broke up on social media, but behind closed doors, they were still together so they can be peaceful. Yeah, so they could be peaceful within their relationship because it was causing too much drama.
And who was Amon and Regina?
It's Regine. Lil Wayne's daughter.
Lil Wayne's daughter.
Yeah. And then Amon, he's a singer, but he's a YouTuber and, influencer. So, yeah.
She doesn't do too good with relationships. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of times she's in the media with them, so that's good that they're taking a break from that.
Yeah.
But I think that the level of loyalty needs to be matched. A lot of times what we're seeing more insecure men speak out, and then these women are like loyal and holding it down. It's just like, no, we need to match each other, or we need to break up because there's gonna be times
the world know about our issues. What's wrong with you?
There's gonna be times like your mama used to tell you, this is family, this is house business, this is our business. Don't be taking it to the streets. And I think that you need to find someone who matches you on that. And if they can't, handle it, then that's not the one for you, because there's gonna be times when you are off your game, or have a weaker moment, and they need to be able to hold it down. So it's like, bruh, you the man. You need to be the rock. Solid.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
How do you all? How do you all communicate your insecurities to your partner? Let me do it that way. If it's not through social media, which I think we've all agreed that that's not the way, what are some ways that you all approach your insecurities with your mate?
By opening my mouth and having a conversation.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Being direct.
Yeah. I'm having these feelings. This is what I'm feeling. And I am trying to process through it. Like, just being transparent and vulnerable, which is not the same thing. But I think that's truly important to communication. And you have to be even open to, like, having that conversation, because sometimes people are like afraid or scared to tell their partner like what's really going on with their emotions and feelings because they don't want to feel rejected. Like it's all type of, feelings that a person can start to feel like, oh, this person may reject me or this person may not like me anymore. But to me personally, I think transparency and being vulnerable with the person I'm in a relationship with will make the relationship better. So I wouldn't be on social media telling the world because, man, the world don't care about you.
Right.
Absolutely.
The world not here with you, in the bed with you, when you wake up in the morning and night. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's in person to that person that I'm in a relationship with.
I'm not gonna lie though, I've had an instant, well, a couple maybe, where I was actually like, I was feeling insecure, but the way I handled it was passive aggressive. So it was like,
can you give us an example?
Of course I can. Hey, baby. Hello, baby. We talking, baby. So he was going out to lunch with this girl, and it's a girl he's been friends with for a long time before I came into the picture, and we all hung out when we were here, and ladies, do y'all know? Like, I just felt this vibe, like she was. She was.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I was, but I wanted to keep it cool. I just wanted to keep it cool. That's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna act crazy right now. But then, she flies out to California, and they go to lunch. I know. She flies out to California.
She flew out to California.
Well, and I don't know why, but apparently wasn't for that. She flew out for whatever reason. But she flew out there, and it was supposed to be like, he's gonna be so mad at me.
Don't worry.
It was supposed to be like him, her, and her man. And it ended up being him and her. And, and also, like, I think, on this topic of, like, there's a lot to say about how, feeling secure and insecure. And I will admit, I was feeling kind of like, this one rubs me wrong. Like, you could be, he's a group of friends, of girls, like, you could be friends with her. This one rubs me wrong. And not because, like, I'm threatened by her. It's not really that. It's just something about her energy.
She didn't have boundaries.
Yeah. She didn't have boundaries or something. Oh, I'm not to look, y'all.
But see, he also needs to set boundaries as well.
Well, and he's a great guy. Like, I trust him. But at the same time, it turned into like, oh, it was just us. And then I kind of approached it like, oh, well, good night. Like, I ain't got nothing else to say.
So you didn't find out it was just him. He told you it was just him.
Yeah, after the fact, though. And I felt like I should have known.
Him through that night, like, what was going on?
We were just on So, like, her man was supposed to be there. He wasn't there. It was just them. And I know that I feel like I don't trust completely this individual.
I tell my friends.
And, but rather than kind of to your point, Nikisa, of like saying, like, because I think you gave a very healthy answer. I just communicate. I just say what it is, and I want to like think a lot of times that is what I do. But I think rather than handling it like that, I was more like, I ain't got nothing to say.
But I think a lot of times you grow to that, though, right?
You definitely grow to it.
Because in the beginning, of course, you're dealing with that. You don't want to be the nag. You don't want to be the person that has something to say.
Insecure.
Because you're manipulated to thinking that that's something that, because you ask a question that you're automatically insecure. It's like, no, if you ask me a question and I ask it back, how am I insecure, but you're not, because sometimes you have that kind of conversation. So I think that, it's something that you grow to. You get to the point to say, you know what, instead of me like, tiptoeing around it and making the situation worse, let me just straight up say, hey, XYZ happened. It made me feel like this. I wanted to bring it up to you so that we don't have this issue going forward.
Absolutely.
I'm giving you the floor to say, well, babe, that's not what I meant, or that's not what was going on. They can clear it up. Now, if they don't and they spin it around and make you feel like even more insecure about it, then that means, oh, okay, this is not the right thing for me. Something else is going on.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
When you say you grow into it.
Yeah.
Because in my 20s, I was
You
just
were
off the
ready.
chain
Exactly.
with it.
Like,
Talk about it.
We don't know who I am. You
Yeah.
know, all that
Now it's a
extra stuff,
conversation.
yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Cause
that's good.
Because you're involved.
Yeah, that's good because I don't think that we're growing up, the relationships that we see from our families and our household with our parents and on TV watching, I watch the Cosby shows and stuff. So what we saw is what we tried to like duplicate.
Right.
So we are not always grown into families where we learn how to really communicate and be transparent and vulnerable with another human being. So you learn that. Unfortunately, I had to learn it through relationships. And I remember I've been married twice. So the first time I was married, I didn't have a voice. So like I didn't say nothing. Everything was in my head. And whatever I did want to say back to him or say to him or how I felt, I never, ever told him none throughout the relationship. And when I left, like that was the point where it was like, oh, this lady really loved me. So it was like, and he probably didn't know, but he knew because there was like verbal abuse there as well. So he knew that he was treating me horrible, but I never vocalized it. Mm-hmm. So then the second time I got married, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make sure he know. So then I did the flip from like being this quiet, me person that kept my feelings inside to, oh, you ain't gonna be cheating on me. Who is this woman on your phone? Blah blah blah.
Like almost over vocalizing.
Yeah. It was a 360. That marriage changed who I was and to my core. Mm. And so the second time I got married, at the end of our marriage, that's when I said, you know what, this cannot continue this way. And I said, I need to get help. I need to start reading books about being a better wife, communication, like all this stuff. I mean, I love the library. I went to the library, I got a stack of books like this. I came home, my husband wasn't there, and I just started reading. And I had to learn that regardless of what happens in this marriage, me working on myself and controlling myself, because that's the only person that I can control, that I said, whether we stay together or we don't stay together, in which we didn't stay together, but I learned through that there has to be a balance, right? Mm-hmm. And so through that, I had to learn that no, that's not how you communicate. All you do it, like all I did was like add fuel to the fire by how I was responding and acting, because I really didn't know how to communicate with him what he was doing and what was going on in the proper way. So I just did what I had learned to do. And so that didn't go well, but I learned afterwards. So now I have all this wisdom from experience of doing it the wrong way.
That's good.
Dope Decision says, sometimes our pride won't allow us to be direct. We feel like our partner should already know.
Yeah, that is true. I think that's a big misconception. Yeah, that hurts us, a lot of times. Just that pride, because you're just thinking like, oh, well, if I do say that they're right, then they're gonna never let it go, and so I'm just gonna be quiet, or not agree or whatever. But all that does is end up hurting us, in the long run. And so I love what you said. That's so beautiful, because then you did the work and you said, regardless, I'm not even, at this point, you're not even doing it for the relationship because it might have been too far gone. But at the end of this, you are going to be okay, so that going forward, anything else that you step into, whether it's an intimate relationship as far as romantic or a friendship or whatever, because this stuff bleeds over. Yeah. And so you're like, I'm going to work on me. And I think that's what we need to do so that we can be our authentic self and not kind of feel like you're in a prison in your own body, your own, you're keeping yourself in prison,
Absolutely. I agree, because so two parts to it. So the first part was, even when we decided to go ahead and just end the relationship, and we were younger, and in that I was like, okay, God, I got mad, because I was like, now God, I did the work. So at first I was like, whether it's, whatever. But when it actually happened, when I went through it, I was mad, and I was mad at God, and I was like, God, I did all this. I didn't even do nothing. Like, I'm sitting in this relationship being faithful. I tried to cheat back on him, but I couldn't even do that because the integrity just would not allow me to do it. So I was mad at God, and I was like, you know what? I'm not getting married no more. I'm like, this 2 times that I've been married, I'm done, God. I said, I tried to do it your way. it didn't work. I'm done with relationships. I'm done with men. I wasn't done with men, but I was done with, thinking about marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just going to be in relationships all the rest of my life. And after that, like, I had to heal from that because I was like, girl, that's not how you do it. I was mad, y'all. Because I was like, I did all this work to fix me and nothing was really wrong with me, what I was thinking. But, obviously, we grow up and we have all these traumas and things that happen to us as children that we don't, talk to anybody about because mental health, we didn't have therapy and counseling. We grew up where if you went to counseling or therapy, people thought you was crazy and it was a bad stigma. Right. And so your parents like, no, like, you okay, but now, therapy is cool. So I am always doing continuously healing and therapy and making sure that I'm good in the inside so that I can show up as a whole healed person when I meet my significant other.
Yeah. And that's tough because I've been perfect since 1997, so I don't really deal with those kind of stuff.
I was just going to ask.
Where did you get the voice? Hold on. Inquiry minds want to know.
Is there a way to weaponize your communication? And I'll ask it based off of the Jonah Hill example. So this is a text message that Jonah Hill sent to his then girlfriend. And he said, and I quote, "Plain and simple, if you need," and by the way, she was a surfer, "if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, if you need to model, if you need to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, if you need to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. And there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnerships. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust." Is that weaponization of communication? He's telling her what bothers him, his boundaries. And to me, personally, you can tell somebody what, but is there a way to weaponize it? And is that an example of it?
I think it was manipulating her because I think that if you're having a conversation, why was it a text message for one? But exactly, I think that what you were saying, there's a way to express, how you feel. Somewhere in there, through that whole text message, it didn't give me how you feel. It gave me manipulation. You should say, this made me feel like XYZ. When you hang out with friends who are basically wilding out, living a certain lifestyle, they don't have boundaries, they're disrespecting our relationship. He could have addressed that, but he's addressing basically, it sounds like her whole life. Like everything that she does, like how she lives. So it's just like, well, yeah, you're right. We're not the match, like you don't like anything I'm doing. So you probably, he wanted to control that. I don't know. I think that he didn't really address what his real concern was.
I didn't see that.
No?
No, I didn't hear that.
When men and women, we think different, we hear different, we see things differently. So
let's hear what he had. What does he have?
He said his boundaries. This is what I don't want. This, and that. So, for example, when I want to have a relationship, if I was a female, don't call me bitch.
Right.
Don't be doing sexual pictures. I don't want that. If he's establishing that right from the get-go, so 2 months down the line, she said she want to do it. Yeah. That was already up front.
Right, you're right.
And another thing, at the very end, those relationships with those friends that don't mean you no good, stop that now because that's going to be a problem for you later. If it's your problem, it's my problem.
That's true. And was this in the beginning of the relationship or was
this was coming towards the end of it.
Right. Well,
so that's the thing. It's
no, they had a conversation based off all the text message. They had a conversation about this. So even when listening to the text message that Vaughn had said, you could tell that there had already been prior conversations before this particular text message. Now, to me, I think texting somebody a deep or serious conversation like this is already set up for miscommunication. But you can tell based off the context that they had already had conversations, and she has continuously run over the boundaries that was already established from the beginning. And we don't know the whole context, but the gentleman in the back had something.
So, predicate off of his text message, it was like she said, it's obvious there's been a conversation. So she chose to disrespect him. So now he's confronting her through text message saying, hey, pretty much we didn't have this conversation before. This ain't cool. So it shows like when you deal with somebody like that, and like you said, weaponize it, the person can turn it that you're insecure, you can't handle being with a person like them. Right. But that's really just making the offender their narcissist.
Yeah, it's not giving the clear, I think a clear message. Like, I think that you guys are both right. You know, if you have an ongoing issue with your partner and you've already addressed them about it, then yeah, you know, like you can say, this is my final stance. Yeah, but I do think that it should have been like I'm letting you know right now,
I'm really at my wit's end with you.
Yeah.
So if you choose this reckless life over what we allegedly established, then there's nothing to do at this point. So I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny. I just kind of dealt with something like this here recently. So you date someone, they show they don't have any empathy, they don't have any respect for your boundaries. And we understand being in a relationship, we have to respect each other to keep each other healthy.
Right.
So when you get in a relationship with somebody, just because somebody says I have boundaries, I don't like this, I don't appreciate this, that don't make them weak. That doesn't make them weak. And no offense, and I know there's a lot of ladies in the room, but when you have a man finally voice that to you, women want to call men weak for saying that. And that doesn't make them weak.
I don't think that's weak either.
No.
I know you're not talking about me, but I'm saying I agree. I don't think that's weak.
Social media a lot. It's gotten to the point where women, and I heard what you said
it's like
about
you can't even
you're not having a voice.
But
it gets to a point now, social media has set it up where men don't have a voice. So when when you have a man with standards, we praise men for having standards. But when the man speaks on his standards, now he's weak.
Or controlling or manipulative.
Or manipulative.
Listen, he don't want you to have a life. He don't want you to do this and do that.
Yeah.
But my thing is this: you have all these boundaries, you have all these demands for him. But when he make his claim, now there's a problem. And I think that's where we have gotten to with social media. That and not because again, you know, I don't none of y'all junk. I'm gonna keep my tires on my car. But, we have gotten to a place where I guess they can say the women say, "Man, we've been doing that a long time." Well, if that's the case, roles have reversed. Women have become the narcissists.
Well, you know, and I think that there has to be a clear understanding too, and we have to consider upbringing.
It's clear people don't respect each other.
Absolutely,
that part is very clear.
We lie and say we love each other.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
don't even know what it is.
People don't even love each other because they don't even love themselves.
Right.
Wait, stop right there. Hold on. Stop. We're not just gonna stir past that. We're gonna stop right there and bring that into a moment.
Yep.
You said people say that they love each other, but they can't love each other because they don't even love themselves. Can you speak to that point and explain what you mean by that? I agree.
Because we put on a mask that we are this person, we put on this persona that we have evolved, or we're this person on social media, and it's all fake. It's all smoke screens and mirrors. A lot of people, we have so many undefined people pretending to be defined.
Absolutely.
You better preach.
That's something.
I'm the type of cat. If I connect with you, I'm not. You don't fool me with your personality.
Yeah.
I wait until you get comfortable, and I wait for your character to show up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So when your character shows up, it shows what you're really made of.
Yeah.
So and that's when we find out who's a narcissist. That's when we find out who's really crazy, who got daddy issues, who got mama issues, who got issues with their baby daddy, who have not healed from past relationships.
Right.
And we have gotten to a point where we making people pay the recompense for our past pain, and that person had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it.
And because we got that last situation, because we didn't love ourselves.
Right.
We was in love with something. We was in love with the image. We was in love with the fact that people were looking at us a certain way. We wasn't really loving ourselves or loving the person we were with. We were just caught up in this matched moment that TV has told us that everything's supposed to look like white picket fences and flowers and all that stuff. And that's not the trenches of love. We don't get into that. Right. So we have a lot of people who don't even know who they are. They don't love themselves, and they do a bunch of crazy stuff, and they'll post all the stuff like they happy all the time. And we've seen so many people that's rich, loaded with money, got millions of followers who have took their own lives.
Yeah, it's true.
And so we go in here, we fake.
Right.
And so we don't even love the person we with.
About it.
You're showing up as a representative. You know what I mean? Like
we don't even show up.
Exactly.
Right.
You've been showing up as a representative for so long that you don't even know who you are.
I hate to say this, we outsourcing our heart.
Yeah. Now that's deep.
We doing crazy stuff. We
outsourcing our
heart. Wow.
Anybody else?
Well, yeah,
What he said. What he said.
What he said. said it all. There's nothing else to say.
That was nothing else to say.
Exactly. Pass the offering plate to the man. And that's your friend?
Oh yeah, I train them well. So,
Push you down.
but you know what though? This could all be established right on the first date.
Right.
And
wait. Hold up. Now, because I see y'all in the audience want some. Yeah. How can if you're going on a date? Yeah. If you're going on a date, this is the first date. Say you go online, meet somebody online. It's the first date. You establishing boundaries on the first date?
You should.
Yes, you should.
Okay. Hold on.
Well, if you're
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Javon is right.
Wow.
Javon is right.
Wait a minute. I gotta get a scenario first.
Okay.
The scenario is if you're going on the first date with somebody, right? You don't know them. You're going on the first date. Y'all going to Top? Say y'all go to Top Golf.
No, we're going ice cream, but continue.
No. In this example, we going to Top Golf.
No, bad example. We're not going to Top Golf first date.
So hold on.
As we go walking on the trail.
Well, they're different so that you can get to know the person. You can't,
Right. So what I'm saying is, if you're going on a date to Top Golf and you meet the person, y'all going to y'all Bay Area or whatever. Okay. Y'all getting up, y'all, doing the golf thing or whatever. And y'all getting to know each other and have a conversation. Set boundaries, or are you having a conversation where your boundaries come up?
Okay. I think like that, yeah.
And that's a fair thing. But the problem we have, we'll go to the Top Golf trying to figure out when is the right time and let them know we want to smash.
That's what y'all been doing.
Okay,
no, women do too.
So they're on the
Instead of us setting up, because in the getting to know someone, you can, in the getting to know them, you can also kind of slide your boundaries in there, let them know who you are. That's how you get to know each other. The problem we have, we too busy trying to figure out if we're gonna smash that night.
Well, so y'all worried about that?
No. Don't say y'all, because it's not gender.
Well, no. Because there's someone
it's not one.
like you're saying.
It's we.
About people in general.
In that first, we've heard this all the time. Like a woman knows if she's going, if she wants to smash or not. You know, like on that first date, that person's gonna give her the vibe. She's gonna be like, oh, okay. It may not be today, but yes, he can get it. Or whatever, right? So.
Brought to you by Quakers. It's gonna be instant.
Whether yeah.
Well, I think it varies for different people, right?
I'm sorry.
I think it varies.
Just caught somebody. You don't know instantly.
Yeah. You know if you're attracted to that person, that's something that you would be.
Okay, I love the way that we have to reset certain things that are inevitable or that we should all be agreeing on. So, Miss V.
Okay.
And by the way, you have one of the best podcasts. I watch it all the time. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
It's been even established on your podcast that there is an instantaneous of when you show up, when you walk through the door, I'm gonna look at you and be like, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But y'all don't talk about it on the first date.
Yes, they do.
How come you don't?
And that's where I think I'm about that.
People listen. We are the time where people they're like, life is short.
2020 COVID. YOLO.
No, for real. I don't care. We can play how pure we want to play. We can play green as we want to play. A person it's one side is saying, hold out, the other side said, go get that thing. I'm telling you, if people will sit there, we're gonna play Top Golf, and we're gonna sit there and be like, maybe tonight, maybe not tonight. And people I don't care, men and women, all think that.
But back to establishing boundaries there, you're saying that this is what's going on, you got that going through your mind. Okay, he fine, she fine. Dang,
we fine, our kids will be fine.
We fine, and I bet, whatever. You might be thinking about that. But as far as establishing the boundaries in that moment, yeah, maybe so. It's just the boundary is, you're not hitting tonight. You know what I mean? Type thing. Or this is how I live my life. This is how you live your life.
Exactly.
This is what you're looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Is it in alignment? So
those are boundaries that are being set.
Yeah. So I could say, in that sense, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so who's single in the room? Who's actively dating? Okay, actively dating recently. On the first date, has a man brought up sex?
No, and typically.
So one person said yes. Hold on, one person said yes. Yes. Anybody else? On the first date?
Like it's one of the conversations, yeah.
Okay, so 3 people. So half the people that's here that's dating, men have brought up sex on the first date. And
Maybe not even men. Sometimes the women bring it up.
I brought it up before too.
I would have a conversation about
on the first date.
To get
It depends on how the vibes is. Like how the conversation goes.
But some people want to know if the person sexually active. Like,
right.
you on this date, but are you smashing somebody else right now?
Right.
Or
They want to know if you're celibate.
Okay, so hold
So
on.
that's when they have a celibate. So they're like, let's go ahead and get that.
So the same people that are actively dating right now, did they also want to know? Did they also ask, "Are you celibate?" or ask if you were anything like that as far as sex? The other people who didn't raise their hand.
I offered them.
No.
I offered them.
No.
Just to let them know what it wasn't gonna be.
What is it? What you tell them?
I practice celibacy.
You told them that?
I told them that, yeah.
Okay, what makes you say that the first date?
I didn't get that. I mean, that's cool.
Just in case she had other plans.
For that night?
In general.
Okay.
So how long you practice for?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
please, come on.
Are you practicing today?
Or is it just like,
no, no.
The whole thing.
It's been a few years. Okay, so you tell them that on the first date.
Because of my belief, that's the reason why.
So what happened to the whole dynamic of going on a date with another human being, and even though it's somebody that's of the opposite sex, and y'all, trying to get to know each other, what happened to actually enjoying the moment, enjoying the funness, enjoying everything? Like, why do I have to know that you celibate on the first date? I don't care about you being celibate
And my
today.
situation was accelerated conversation that they started. So they were trying to figure out get as much information as they can.
Okay.
And so I'm like, hey, this is the life I live. So I kind of want them to know this is what you get involved with.
You like, if you ask, I'm gonna tell.
Yeah. So and the thing at this point, you were asking a lot of questions, and you were asking about my life, what I do, and so I kind of let you know. Then I'm like, hey, this is not what I'm doing. So
I mean, and some people are taking that approach because it has been such trash, as Bree Webster.
But the first date, you still won't know.
No,
What if you know you're not gonna have sex on the first date, but you do want to eventually have sex with this person? You're not gonna know if it's trash on the first date.
Well, no. Talking about just in general, the dating scene. How it's
Oh, okay.
So some people are.
So your dating scene has been trash.
They're kind of been jaded. I mean, yeah. I would say that. I would say that.
Why y'all picking these men up at?
It's the women now.
Yes, it's the women now.
Okay, can you talk about that?
Hold on, everybody. I can only capture one voice at a time. Hold on 1 second.
You would not say where y'all getting these men from. These women are out here being aggressive. They're being fast.
Hold on.
Okay.
I've never heard them say like, okay, well, these women out here, they don't, do anything. They don't even have a conversation. I'm like, when did it get there?
Listen,
when did it get there?
You can't even have an adult conversation.
I'm like, they are changing.
All right, so let me go over here.
So here's what I want to say. I think that women have dropped expectations from men, which has increased the amount of men that do not do anything.
Oh, you're right.
And so women have settled for a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Women have dealt with a lot of shit, and it's been happening for a long time, and here we are. And then women have decided that because I've been doing this for so long, I'm going to continue to do this. And the man is going to be in my place, and I'm going to be in the man's place. That's where we are.
Yeah, that is happening.
And
Hold on.
I'm not saying this is the case for everybody. This is
that is happening.
not a blanket statement.
Hold on.
That is what's happening. I have female friends, and in the past I did it. So you can't tell me no different.
Yeah, it's happening. It's definitely
My
happening.
friends did it. So what I'm saying is there are women who put up with men who shouldn't even be in their presence.
Come on.
And when you do that, when you allow man after man who don't deserve your presence, this is what happens. So the men have been comfortable with the energy that women have put out there.
Right.
And so then we get to a point where we're frustrated, but that's what we dealt with. I dealt with it a lot. I'm open to be transparent and honest enough to say I dealt with a lot of bullshit. And I shouldn't have. You shouldn't have even got past the first date.
Okay, in that moment, before we go to D, in that moment though, what changed you from putting up with it and then taking the stance to be like, you know what, I'm done with this?
Because I got married twice and I looked at myself and said, you need to heal. You need to figure it out because this is not the cheat code.
Right.
What you've been doing has not worked for you. So you can't keep repeating the same habits, the same things. You have to learn from your past mistakes. And so I took those things and I learned from it. I healed. I went to therapy.
Good.
I became more self-aware and I became accountable, number one.
Yes.
A lot of women won't even be accountable
be
that you're dealing with some bullshit. And then you mad at the man. He cheated on me. He did this to me. But you knew it. But you tolerated it. And you stayed with him for 5 years. He didn't marry you. He gave you 2 babies. He didn't pay no bills. He didn't go to the job regularly. But you put up with it and you mad at him.
So you gotta raise your standard.
That's accountability. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, well, I was back to the point of boundaries. I was just thinking as a newcomer to the Dallas Metroplex. I've only been here a year, so just still kind of getting into the dating scene. I'm a single woman. But I think in terms of the conversations and boundaries being set, for me, it's been, I mean, if it's a topic of discussion, then I'm not going to define at that moment exactly, unless it's like, I mean, if it's sex or something, of course. But I want to see how you approach me in your manhood, because I'm gonna vibe off of how you're coming at me, rather than me telling you and then you giving me your representative to fit the mold that you know you think I want. And so, I appreciate the conversation, but rather than me defining it for you, let's see how you move. That's how
I like it.
Are we giving that opportunity, making space for that so I can know who you are, because I think a lot of times we just kind of show up as some people, they'll show up as who they think that you want,
which is why we don't want to give them the guidebook and define it for them.
Exactly.
So let's pick it back on what she just said. First, she want to vibe, which is good because one, when you dating in a first date, one thing as a man don't want to be is interviewed.
Right.
I'm trying to see if it's a goodbye. You ain't gonna keep question after question.
Right.
So now Also, too, those questions you ask me, if I'm just out for sex, I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear. So I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear. Get what I need. You ain't gonna never even make it past representative. So you gotta be. So the vibe thing is good. And when you setting your boundaries and you setting your standards. So your standards are set up at the beginning. I applaud you for that because that's what we are lacking from men and women. Women are letting BS come in life and accepting it. Men are letting BS come in life and accepting it. We talk about the penis dating pool. That goes on both sides.
Absolutely.
He's not in my dating pool. I'm sorry. He's not in my dating pool.
But there is one thing I would like to add. We were talking about this the other day. I do believe that there is an underrepresentation of good men and good women. All we're looking at every day, we're all watching the same train wreck. And it's of some people who don't even represent us. It's just like, okay, you see this girl who's like, oh, I want a man who's making X, Y amount of money. He got to be this and that. There are most of the women are, that are actually the most of the population. They are the everyday woman who is wants the everyday man. The man, he doesn't have to be perfect, but someone you can work with. And the same thing for that man. And it's just like, there's nothing representing that man, who the average man, the man who's a good man who works hard, blah, 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 or the woman who is, the everyday, woman. It's the city girl. It's the Tatiana. It's the, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't have that representation. And I think the same thing for men. That's why all the time you hear people downing men and downing black men especially, and it's just like there's men who are like, well, I'm a good man, I take care of myself, this and that, and it's just like, but no one is like representing you guys, you know. So I do feel like we need to be loud with we need to get over the being humble. I feel like being humble is basically a thing to shrink, you know, to shrink you. It's like, be humble. And it's like, no, I don't need to be humble. I'm an amazing person. Yeah. If you're an amazing man, you're taking care of your kids, you're getting the job done, be loud so we can go ahead and know who you are and give you your props. And you know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a just underrepresentation of those, the everyday person.
Yeah, but part of the problem is, like you said earlier, when you're broken, you can't have a good man or good woman.
No, that's true. You don't know what it is. You can't receive it.
Yeah. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna break that good man.
Oh yeah.
Or you're gonna break that good woman.
And now he's, you know, got to recover.
Yeah. So you know, back. I don't know why you sitting in the back, but go ahead.
Kind of to respond to her statement about putting up with people's stuff and lowering their standards. No, I think it's, you know, again, I agree, but I disagree. My thing is, a lot of times we'll say, I'm tired of putting up this, I'm tired of putting up that. Well, you the one made the choice to be with that person. So we
definitely got a decision.
Black and white. We don't want to hear gray. We want the gray. We want something to sound a little bit more soft. But the truth of the matter is, if you keep making these decisions, but you're mad at a man or a different man but you the one made the decision. So at the end of the day, we're like, well, we lowering our standards because we're tired of this and we're tired of this and tired of that. Well, I mean, you the one jumped into the relationship and stayed there. Same way with men. Now, because I made the same mistake. Got into a relationship too early and paid a 20-year sentence for it.
Man.
No prison.
Man.
But because you have high hopes that things will work out. And there's nothing wrong with believing in love. There's nothing wrong with trying to hope that your mate is going to do better. But the problem is, if you jump out of one relationship and you're not healed, you jump into another relationship that look like the last person you was with, jump out of another relationship and get involved with somebody else. Like you said, you get with somebody else and you get rah and do all that stuff.
I got married like that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you're not healed.
Yeah.
And then you're constantly angry talking about, we done lowered our standards for these men. No, you just got you have a type.
Well, you didn't have a standard to begin with.
No, that's what I'm saying. But then you saying, well, we lowered our standards for these men. No, you have a type. Mm-hmm. Every man is not like that. You chose to be with those type of men. Yeah. So we can't. So you can't make piss poor choices and be the victim. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So we hear is a lot of people say, well, I've been through this, man after man after man. No, you have a type. That's true. You cannot constantly blame the male species or black men for your type.
Well, you
some
can't.
Some like dark skin.
Outside of yourself, you cannot blame. Anybody outside of yourself, you cannot.
But see, that's all we hear now. Everybody's a victim. Everybody cry. But check this out. Let's take it a little bit further. Okay, you got a man, he become a dog. But then you be the victim because he was a dog. But in the relationship, you pushed him to a place because you're not healed from something else and turned him into a different type of man.
Right, there's a part that you play, that you're contributing.
But that's the narrative we never hear.
Even what she said here, I mean, and I think that's why we're having these conversations to change that. But even what she said here, she said her first relationship, her first marriage, she was basically like silent. She didn't have a voice. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of us, people will have that same experience coming up in your household where maybe you have overbearing parents or you have parents who don't they don't feel like they have to respect you, or one parent is doing that to the other parent. So you grow up thinking that that's okay, right? Or you're like, when I get out this house, ain't nobody gonna tell me this and that. Just like she was saying, once she got out that relationship and she got into another marriage, it was like, oh, in this marriage, I'm gonna speak up. And sometimes when we don't deal with the healing portion, we're completely blind to the other person that we're in a relationship with, what they're going through, this and that, because you're so unhealed. So you're constantly going to be a victim when you're unhealed, Yeah, that's and true. You're going to be like, oh, well, when I get the next opportunity, I'm going to do this. And it's crazy because it just shows up in so many ways, even with your parents, when they're like, okay, I grew up this way, so when I have my kids are going to have to do this. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And then you forget, you're giving them what they didn't, what you didn't have, but you forget to give them what you had that made you be able to get through life and to be successful. So that balance and that healing, it has to happen, because if not, you're gonna constantly be in a bad situation and like you said, you know, that accountability. You don't even know accountability. You too broken to even know that, to even see yourself.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that word was not a common word that was used back in like the 90s. I got married in the 90s, so like that word accountability, healing, counseling, therapy, healing from marriage relationships. Like I did not. That was clueless to me. I did my own healing by saying what I wasn't gonna put up with, and then we all saw the results in that. So
well, you didn't have accountability because you were someone's responsibility back in the day, you know. So you didn't really have a voice. So I think that's probably too why that word wasn't coming up. It was just like, this is your duty as a woman.
So correct me if I'm wrong though. What everybody's saying about you got that type, and this is rah rah, and this ain't working. So it's kind of a two-sided problem.
Yeah.
Because guess what?
We affect each other.
I saw the red flags of that rah rah rah, and I sat there and married you.
Well, that's the problem I'm about to get to. I kind of.
I don't think so though.
Yeah,
I don't think what you said. I don't think he saw it. Kind of like because
you soup.
No.
You saw it.
We saw it. But we thought it was cute. It's that passive aggressive. No, because that passive aggressive stuff. Again, hold on, listen. Sometimes it's cute. I'm not gonna be doing it. I'm gonna put up with that, and it sounds cute. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my daddy. You my man, and that's cute. But then the further you get into the relationship, who you think you talking to, and it gets darker.
Yeah, I know that there are definitely relationships
so what happens
like
is
that.
we see the red flags. And we saying, oh, they just want to claim me, or they just want to be in love, they just want this, that, and the other, or they trying to hold me tight, all that. But the truth of the matter is, it's pulling you in. So when you in, they get comfortable, all of that stuff stands up. And sometimes it's not, they just become a product of the environment. Because, in my last relationship, my marriage, the women ran their husband.
What?
They ran their husband, they fought their husbands.
Fight.
Oh, wow.
So
I got a family member.
There are people like that.
I got a family member growing up that him and his wife.
Mom's like, oh, you're all up wife.
So like, no, for real, they were like, we cook food, we empty your loin, and we're gonna bust you in your head. They were those type of women.
Yeah.
So that's all she kind of knew, and she kind of tried it at home. Something you just don't try. Something you just don't try at home. But the problem is, in the beginning, like I said, it's a two-way problem. Now the problem is, I stayed.
Yeah.
So when it started getting dark, I stayed. I should have been gone. But you're like, I'm gonna stick around and try to keep our family together.
And there's probably
to the point
they
is,
expect you like you don't want to get divorced. Then it's like, oh, and you left that woman.
Well, see, that was the other thing.
Yeah. So
it was always when she acted like this. Well, what did you do to make her act like that? No, it's the way she was raised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a lot of times, let's be real, men have been cornered to stay. They don't mind staying because they really love this.
Sometimes that is the case. Yeah.
And low key, they're the one being abused.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And then when a man stand up for himself, now I'm being verbally attacked.
Yeah.
There's verbal abuse in my marriage. No, really, the man just got tired.
No, that definitely is. That's definitely happening and going on. But for my second marriage, I never gave off that vibe because when things would come up, the red flags would come up, I will address it, but then I'll be okay with the answer. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's just an ex that's jealous, this and that, and I'll be like, oh, back then we only had MySpace, y'all, and Facebook didn't get started till later, so it was like, I didn't have all the stuff, that I have now. But in the second marriage, all we had was MySpace. And so I didn't see everything that was going on. So whatever he told me, I was like, okay, but those was the red flags. So I never got out of myself or got to that rah-rah while we were dating.
Right.
This happened inside the marriage when I was like, oh man, those red flags I ignored are really happening and something is really going on. And I'm not about to be silent in this relationship. And so then I got toxic and, but he it was like you said, he accepted it, but I think he kind of like brushed it off. Like he never was like, oh my God, this lady is crazy. He never would brag on it either. He never like, yeah, my woman, no.
I mean, in your mind, you think like, oh, okay, she's marking her territory. She letting other women know. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of cool.
What is that? What do you mean by that? Let other women know. 'Cause I don't let other
if you're in the room, she walks up, she want all of y'all to know she with me.
They know about my ring when we walk in.
No. I'm talking about dating and even to marriage. But when you get married, it's like all of that you was doing, you're really trying to like set this up to kind of isolate me.
Yeah, and people will do that. They will isolate you like friends.
And you will set me up to isolate me. So now I really don't have anybody. I can't hang with the homies. And I've been not talk with another woman. And I've had women friends since elementary school, middle school. And Javon was at my mixer I had women there from years ago that was there before my wife and has been there after my wife. And they knew their place. They honored her. Because that was my decision.
Okay.
So the problem we have now, y'all talk about men being insecure. No, we have like these men. Sometimes I know, but sometimes these men ain't sleeping with these women. These women are just their friends. Now some of these dudes, that's immature dudes pulling them stunts. But real man, if these been their friends all these years, if they wanted them, they could have been happy.
And that's how I think about it. So that's how I think I am so more. I think that's the thing for me.
We isolate each other. I'm gonna put it on both sides. We'll isolate each other and take each other's voice away, take each other's freedom away to be who we've been to people for years.
Yeah, I think to me, if you have female friends and y'all been friends for 10 years,
they are friends now.
Like y'all had time to get them, like to be with each other or whatever the case may be. So when I come in the picture, I don't care about none of that. But what Aaliyah was saying earlier in her situation where her guy has female friends and they're all cool, like she don't get no vibes from them or like that. But this particular woman, sometimes women though, we know. And so I got a question to the men, but I know D had something. Did you have something? Okay.
Oh, really?
I got a question
to add that real quick about you said the friends they've been around all this time. That can be true in certain cases, especially if you meet and it's just like, okay, this is your friend, we all friends now. We're gonna get introduced, and if everything seems fine, cool. But in some cases, we all know there are some women that now all of a sudden that this man is involved, he becomes more desirous, or you want to see if you still got that effect on him or whatever it is that sometimes women will do that. So that's not always the case. All of a sudden now he's in a relationship, now he's on her radar, because there are some women who are trifling who don't mind.
Yeah, but I also think those women too, they found their friend attractive, and like there are some guys that be waiting around too for you to be single, for them to get their chance or have their chance. So that there are those cases, but I want to know from the men, why do sometimes with the women that other women can tell that your so-called female friend like you, but you can't act like you. Oh, she like me. Oh, you think she like me? Right here.
Because it don't matter. But
right here.
No, we don't. We just don't know.
Really?
Sometimes we just don't know.
You don't know, like for instance.
Really?
Yes.
I was focused on the woman I was with. So like her friends saw it, she may saw it. Heck, shoot! At one time, my own son, they like, Dad, she was.
Because you focus on the one you actually.
I'm not thinking about that.
Okay.
You're not on my radar. Now you fine. I ain't blind, but you ain't the one I want. I'm with the one I want.
Okay.
And so, but the thing is, you still make the man pay for that. That's wrong. If he want to go get it, he go get it. But my thing is, if he's with you, quit making him pay a price when he get home behind closed doors for something he's not doing.
Right, but when you set boundaries with that, once your son told you, hey Dad,
but the thing is not the mere fact that she's doing anything in particular. They can tell by the way she looked.
Okay, so she wasn't doing the extra hand motions like Aaliyah was saying.
No,
the friend was doing to her man. Okay.
No, but I mean, I'm not. Now at that point, you went too far. I ain't got to be dumb myself. I'm sit there and be like, nah, we ain't gonna be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, no key. I was scared of mine. I know because she was from the hood. She could do you. She would do you in. So ain't no need both of us getting booked. So you just put that in. Now, listen, she was sweet, cute, sexy, heels, all of that. But there was a little inner thug in her. I didn't have to. I'll tell you, she put her hands on you. But the thing is,
what made you date a woman like that?
They were in love.
I love a woman that's like God. some edge to it. It does.
No boundaries. I can understand a little
I
grit.
like boundaries. I want to.
The line's probably blurred.
Listen, no.
That's the basic.
It ain't right. That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
It ain't like you hood rat got blazing in your mouth. I don't want none of that. I want.
Dr. Blaze, are you from Chicago?
Well, I live that close. Yes,
Okay.
So, but so then you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
West Side.
West Side, come on here. West Side, come on.
So my thing is, for me, I want a lady, but I don't mind a lady that has a little edge to her. But I don't want you like sitting up here and like you gonna act like we both stand up and pee. We ain't gonna be doing all that.
Okay.
That's a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much.
I agree with you. I like my sandwich with crust on it.
There you go.
Worry about it. You got a little crust on it.
A little hard.
Yeah, so what happens is, like, I never in my life will have to hit a woman. But a woman attack me, I can look back at her.
Okay, be proud too.
And she gonna be like, she ain't gonna say that.
Come on. She already knows. She already see it.
But you also don't have to duck this off in any environment.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. She can do it in a business environment.
Come on.
A club if we decide to go.
Strip club.
Not a
She can do that too. She know how to handle all that.
Yes, sir.
But she's a complete woman for me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And that's what I love about it.
That's good.
I think that was the perfect way to end this segment.
All right, did you guys enjoy today? Was this entertaining, engaging? Did you guys have an experience? We ask that you guys go to our different social media platforms. We have the Relationship Hotspot on Instagram and Facebook. We have a YouTube page. We have a little logo. You can find me at Javon Show across all social medias because Nikisa told me to do that. And then you are.
You can find me on social media at Nikisa Green, and that is spelled Nikisa Green on all platforms.